If you're watching this right now, you need to understand something urgent, something that could change your portfolio and your wealth forever. Precious metals like silver and gold are exploding, hitting record highs that we haven't seen in decades. And this isn't a normal market move. The big banks, hedge funds, and insiders are already positioning themselves. And if you're not paying attention, you could miss the biggest wealth transfer of our lifetime. Welcome back to Silver Shockwave, the channel that brings you the fastest, most eye-opening updates in the metals market. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to stay ahead of the curve and catch these explosive market moves as they happen, that's your first step. The first thing you need to know is that silver and gold are no longer just safe havens. They're becoming the main stage for global financial upheaval. Look at silver first. It's not just moving up slowly, it's accelerating faster than almost anyone predicted. Why? Because physical demand is skyrocketing, while paper silver, the stuff traded on exchanges like the COMEX, is tight beyond belief. Registered silver inventories are plunging, and the gap between what S traded in New York and what S paid in Shanghai has never been wider. This isn't a warning you can ignore. When physical metal disappears, the price doesn't just rise, it spikes. And that's exactly what we're seeing now. Gold, on the other hand, is breaking old records as central banks across the globe panic quietly behind the scenes. From the US to Europe to Asia, governments are buying, hoarding, and moving gold like it's the ultimate lifeline. Inflation fears, debt crises, and geopolitical instability are driving this rally. And here's the kicker. While the average investor is still debating stocks or crypto, the insiders are quietly shifting billions into precious metals. That's why Silver Shockwave is here, to decode these moves so you're not left behind. Let's talk about the global picture for a second. In the US, the Federal Reserve's policies are creating a perfect storm for metals. Interest rates, quantitative easing, and a dollar that's under pressure all point to one inevitable outcome: higher precious metals prices. Meanwhile, Europe is quietly moving gold to secure itself against a debt crisis that could explode at any moment. And in Asia, countries like China and India are buying massive amounts of physical silver and gold, sometimes at premiums that would shock Western traders. This isn't just regional, it's a worldwide rally, and every major economy is involved in some way. Now, if you're wondering what this means for you, let's make it simple. Silver and gold aren't just investments, they're wealth preservation machines. If you bought silver 5 years ago, you're already seeing your wealth grow significantly, and what's happening now suggests that the next few months could be explosive. The ratio between gold and silver, which usually signals undervaluation or overvaluation, is telling us something incredible. Silver is historically cheap relative to gold. That means if you're only watching gold, you're missing the real opportunity. But this isn't just theory. Look at the market signals. Banks are tightening delivery on COMEX contracts, hedge funds are scooping up physical inventories, and retail demand is surging online and in coin shops. The digital chatter, the social media buzz, the news reports, it all points to one thing: a historic rally is underway, and it's gaining momentum every single day. People who were hesitant a year ago are now realizing that missing out could be costly. And here's where the story gets even more interesting. Geopolitical events are accelerating the rally faster than most analysts predicted. Tensions in global trade, sanctions, conflicts over resources, and central bank maneuvers are all conspiring to make silver and gold the only reliable stores of value. Unlike stocks or bonds, which are at the mercy of governments and inflation, metals are a universal hedge. They have intrinsic value, scarcity, and the ability to preserve wealth when everything else falters. So, what's the strategy if you want to ride this wave? First, understand the market dynamics. Physical silver is scarce. If you can secure it now, you're ahead of the curve. Second, watch the gold-silver ratio. Historically, extreme ratios precede massive silver gains, and right now, the ratio is screaming opportunity. Third, pay attention to insider signals. When central banks, hedge funds, and bullion banks make moves quietly, it usually foreshadows what retail investors will experience weeks later. And finally, timing matters. This isn't TA market to rush into blindly. You want to position yourself while the trend is building momentum, not after the rally peaks. Now, before we continue, if you haven't already, smash that like button and subscribe to Silver Shockwave. Turn on the notifications because updates like this move fast, and missing a day could mean missing thousands in opportunity. Also, comment below with your thoughts. Are you currently holding silver, gold, or both? We want to hear from you because the discussion here helps everyone stay informed and alert. Back to the rally. Let's break down the numbers. Silver is approaching levels not seen in over a decade, and gold is pushing past record highs that analysts didn't think were possible this year. But the real story is the velocity of the move. It's not just that prices are high, it's that the market is structurally tight. Supply chain issues, limited mine output, and soaring industrial demand are all colliding perfectly. Think of it like a rocket. The fuel is ready, the trajectory is set, and we're about to see an explosive ascent. Industrial demand, by the way, is a factor that often gets overlooked. Silver isn't just a monetary asset, it's essential in electronics, solar panels, and high-tech industries. With global tech production expanding and renewable energy projects accelerating, the demand for silver is not just growing, it's compounding. Combine that with investor demand and restricted supply, and you have a market that's primed for historic gains. And here's another angle to consider. For investors who are watching paper assets like stocks or crypto, silver and gold are insurance. When the market turns or volatility spikes, these metals don't just hold value, they often surge. Look at history. During every major financial crisis, gold and silver either maintained or multiplied wealth, while other assets lost significant value. If history is any guide, the timing couldn't be better to secure some exposure before the next wave hits. It's also important to note that insiders are making moves we can track. Large bullion banks are quietly limiting futures delivery, major funds are stacking physical holdings, and global central banks are increasing reserves. These aren't small random actions, they are signals to the market. When you see these patterns, it's not speculation, it's a roadmap to where the metals are headed next. So what should viewers do right now? First, stay informed. Channels like Silver Shockwave provide the updates you won't find on mainstream financial news. Second, consider your allocation. How much of your portfolio can you realistically secure in physical metals or ETFs? Third, monitor the market closely. Ratios, futures, and inventory levels are key indicators of when acceleration might happen. And finally, engage with the community. Comment your predictions, share insights, and don't sit on the sidelines while others are positioning themselves for massive gains. As we approach the end of this video, remember that this rally is historic. We are in a moment where silver and gold are not just investments, they are signals of a shifting financial system. Those who recognize it early, act strategically, and hold steady could see gains that will define their financial legacy. That's why staying alert, informed, and prepared is crucial right now. Before we wrap up, if you found this video insightful, make sure to comment below with your thoughts and share it with someone who needs to see this. Hit that like button one more time, and if you haven't already, subscribe to Silver Shockwave for more timely, high-impact updates on silver, gold, and the forces driving this unprecedented rally. We're just getting started, and the next few weeks could bring the biggest moves we've seen in years.